Welcome everyone to Ask a Member. I'm Ann Hughes, President of the Adrian Area Chamber of Commerce, and this is our weekly interview with one of our members so you can find out exactly what it is that makes them successful and what their business secrets are and what's going on in their lives and business. And it's my pleasure today to welcome Joanne Steele, who is the owner of Joanne Steele Insurance Center. Welcome.
Thank you, Ann.
Okay.
It's a pleasure. We go back a few years.
Just a few. Just a few. Both grew up on the east side, lived on Bud Long Street for a while. I stayed, you left. But lots of history, both personally and with the chamber.
Yes, actually, I was in Hawaii when you called me, when you wanted to start the Adrian Chamber, remember?
I remember that. That was 10 years ago. 10 years ago next month.
I've been marching for 10 years trying to get someone to do one.
Now we got it.
Yeah, and it's worked beautifully. You've done a great job, Ann.
Yes, and you were one of our first supporters, our first members. I think you were member number 2. Mary Alice beat you by about an hour and a half. But it's been, the community is so important to you. We'll talk about your business too, but beyond that, or maybe built around that, is the love you have for this community, particularly the downtown.
Right.
If you had the money, you would buy the whole downtown and renovate it all at once. I know you would.
I've already told Dane Nelson that if I had the lottery, I'm buying the town.
You're buying the
just
town.
so I can fix it pretty.
Yeah.
I think we have done about 8 buildings, though, in our time remodeling it.
Where did you start out?
Well, I started at 110 West Maumee, and then we started buying buildings from there. And of course, my husband was remodeling all of them at that time. But I think the Carriage House was the last one I did.
Tell us about the Carriage House. That's just a treasure, in the back parking lot there.
It's a building I always wanted because I couldn't stand the garbage cans out there back of my building. But when I was helping Brian Copeland, it got to be where it was leaking and it wasn't a good place to store furniture, so I bought it. And I thought I'd fix it up for, actually John Dillard wanted to go full-time, so moved him out of my upstairs into that. And I thought, well, I'll put $100,000 in it. $359,000 later, it was done. So it is a treasure.
And that's a familiar thing as I talk to people who have redone buildings. They plan $100,000 or $165,000, and that $300,000 plus number seems pretty accurate. What's the building used for?
Well, John has his studio upstairs, and he does aerobics, and bodybuilding and all those kind of things. And downstairs turned into a rental hall.
Okay.
In fact, right in the middle, John decided he wanted upstairs after I had the electricity done and the drywall and everything, so I had to do a little changing, but it worked out the way it should. It's a beautiful downstairs.
Oh yeah, and it's used for, I know Weight Watchers meets there every week now.
Wednesday and Fridays.
And there's baby showers, there's after Croswell events that I see the cast going over after the shows.
There's even been weddings in there.
Has there really?
Yeah. And a lot of funeral dinners and, baby shower and wedding.
It's such a pretty setting, actually, as the entrance with the benches and the brick.
Actually, Dave Hoover is the one that did the building. And he told me he wanted to do that garden. And he said, Joan, it'll be about $4,000. It's okay. $8,000 later, it was done.
Well, it is beautiful.
It is.
It really is.
That building, that's mainly for the community.
Okay. Well, the community appreciates it. Something else that you do, Joanne, is you, in addition to your own business, and I'm not sure when you have time to do your own business, but you support entrepreneurs so well. I mean, your business has turned into an incubator for a number of young people who have wanted to start their own business. You've given them a place.
Yeah, we have several people there now. We have a young lady upstairs, a photographer that just moved in. We have a phone book.
Mike
Momentum.
Riley, Momentum, Monkey Book.
Yeah, the Monkey Book. And we have Miss Carrico, Sadie Carrico, as a counselor upstairs.
Oh, okay, I didn't realize she was there.
Yeah, and we have the at-home nursing unit.
Senior helpers.
Senior helpers are up there. And Isaac Sneed, the lawyers, on the other side. And then Dusty Steele's in the front. And then we have Next Step.
Right, Jason Preston, who does a lot of work for us. Now, the last time I was in your building, the big space where the community could use, Chamber had a lot of meetings in there.
Right.
That was being changed into buildings, or I mean offices.
Well, I got
Who's
a
in
plan,
there?
and Rick Gritzmaker was in my office, and I was telling him what my ideas were, and he drew it up and did it. But the best thing in the world that I ever did, I had my own bathroom off my office.
Oh my goodness.
And then I moved up in the world.
There you go. Got the keys to the private restroom.
Right. But no, I rent them a lot less rent than it would be. And give them a start.
That's
because
important.
they can't go in there and pay big rent and still make a business work.
Oh, that's great. So tell us about your business. Now, we've saved the downtown and we've
done a
saved
few
entrepreneurs.
restaurants. We got a new group coming in for a bakery, and I mean, we got all kinds of things flying down here. But my business, I'm in insurance. I work mainly with gleaners. They're a hometown, it's just, we fit together. And we do life and health, disability, and investing. Mainly in annuities. I like to be safe and solid. So right now I'm the queen. Dusty with the stock market is not. But people work hard for their money. They don't want to lose it.
Yeah, I like that term, safe and solid.
And right now that's where everybody wants to
And I
be.
think that's all anybody is concerned about anymore.
Well, unfortunately, so many people have lost half of their money in their retirement age, and it's sad.
You're not going to live long enough to get it back.
No way. No way.
So what do you tell somebody who's lost half of their retirement and they're not going to, that they're never going to be able to recoup that? I mean, are you seeing people working longer, looking for part-time jobs after they retire?
Actually, Ann, what I do is a data book where I gather all the information for people, and I do that for nothing. Majority of my business is doing things for free for people. But, you can get them in a safe way, and I tell them you're safe for retirement, but not to the point you can't enjoy yourself while you're younger. But when you get ready to retire, if you retire and don't work at all, or don't volunteer, then you will die. You need to get involved one way or the other. And I have so many people that are retired, but now they're working in places they want to be, and they're very happy. And they may not need all that money, but it does a lot for them health-wise.
No, I entirely agree with that because you see that,
Yeah.
regularly, people who have retired and without any plans. And, I think it used to be, Joanne, we assumed when you hit 65, that was the end of your working career. You quit and you did whatever retired people do. And we just assumed they had to. But, people aren't old at 65 or 70. And I can't imagine not working and being involved in things.
45.
Oh, good. I'm only 47 then. You just made my day.
But it is, people are going to be working longer. They're going to raise the Social Security age. They're talking about 70 in the future.
That's going to make a big difference.
Yeah, it is. And you just got to be prepared. I said we used to work for 30, 40 years to retire for another 10 or 20. That was the life expectancy. Now you work 40 years for 40 years of retirement. You got to, you really got to build that retirement fund up. And I don't believe you can live on just a retirement fund anyway. You can't count on Social Security. We don't know what's going to happen with that in 20 years from now. So I tell people to count on themselves. So it's going to be important what they choose to do. So if nothing more, all the years you're working, plan on the job you want next.
Yeah, that's true.
So start working on it, Ann.
Actually, I am. We'll have lunch one day and I'll tell you about it.
Actually, people come in to me and say, when are you going to retire? And I said, never. When they carry me out. But why would I stay home and do nothing? And watch soap operas? Lord, no. When I can sit and talk to all my people, my friends, my family. I've got like 3,000 clients, that I can play with all the time.
Yeah. And your daughter works in the business too?
My daughter, Susan, she's the CFO. She handles all the money and bills and all the fun stuff like you like to do.
Not really.
Then we have Jamie Linden. She's like my right arm, left arm, everything. She reminds me of me when I started.
Okay. And she manages the carriage house for you as
Yes.
well, right?
Oh, that's one of the smartest moves I ever made. Yeah. I got that all done.
Isn't delegation great?
It took me forever to learn that word, but I'm the best delegator around the world. But I bought her business cards with her face on it, and she was the manager of the carriage house.
Yeah.
So I never see too much out there. She
Well,
takes
that's
care
good.
of
That's
everything.
okay. If you had one piece of advice to give people as far as their money, regardless of what age they are, what would it be?
To be safe, I mean, I tell people even in their 20s or 30s, you build a nest egg of security. And then if you want to play wild or market after that, but you build that base.
First.
And enjoy your life as much, you know, you can't go out there and go crazy, but enjoy life because you don't know what's going to happen to you. But live with your budget, try to live within your means and enjoy your life.
I know you and I, Joanne, could sit here and talk all day.
We've done that.
We've done that before, but we'll make an appointment for lunch and carry on the conversation. But
Okay.
thank you very much for coming in
Oh, it was
today.
my pleasure.
Thank you.